Hey, everybody, welcome into the building. Happy Tuesday. I hope y'all all had a good day so far. Y'all know what today is. It's Trending Topics Tuesday. And honey, it's a man's world because today's trending topic is dedicated to the men's. Yeah, it's dedicated to the men's. We got this man because he didn't get a phone number from a sister. He decides he's going to pick up a brick and slap her across the face with the brick while the other man watched. What's going on? What's going on? We're going to talk about it, okay? Then we got a cop getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it while he on duty. Yes, he was. A cop seen with a female. A kiss said female. Said female gets into the back of his ride. And then he gets back there with her. All right. Cops going wild while on duty. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah. These men, okay? These men, you right, men madness. Honey, come on, y'all, with giving me the names. You better talk about it, okay? A hot mess. It's a man's world. Then we got Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know how much we're gonna get up to, but Wreck-It Ralph is on the docket, okay? Ralph Pittman, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Father of the Year. He want to say that Drew, had a whole elaborate plan. Only reason why she wanted him to adopt her firstborn, JoJo, was so at the end of the day, she could get, money from him via child support. Come on. Some of these men, Trigger Tuesday. You better come on now, Chi-Town. Come on, y'all be giving me the names. I'm going to have to text you ahead of time. These men need to get over child support. It's not that deep. Okay. Now, there are some females in the world who want to make a come up off of child support. I ain't going to lie and ignore that fact. Okay. Yes, there is. But there's many of us that is going to the kid you helped make. Need to stop it. Now, we're going about to board this train, okay? Because it's a man's world, honey. We about to talk about the men's. Now, y'all know what I need in order to board this train. And listen, every time I go do inventory and I count the tickets up, y'all cheat me. Maybe I should take 30 days off. And maybe when I come back after 30 days, y'all hit the like button when y'all see me on the screen. Because y'all don't care about Diva. Yes, I did inventory. And they be hopping the train. Somebody call security. Y'all know what I need. Come on, there you go, Best IBK. I appreciate you. Come on, Chi-Town. I appreciate y'all. Come on now. What do I need? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. We're about to board this train for Trending Topic Tuesday. And yes, it's dedicated to the men's, okay? Men, you're out there wilding out. But we're going to talk about it. Let me bring the people in the building because the platform is jam-packed. Okay, the people are here and they're ready to talk about it. Hold on now. Hey, Dustin.
Hey, Diva. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Sebastian, Roy Ear. Hey, Leo.
I see you have your favorites, Diva. It's completely fine. You always have your favorites next to you. It's completely fine.
You being messy already. See the man?
You even forgot your co-conductor, Roy Ear. See, you put him there in the middle.
Messy man. Messy
Sebastian.
Hey, everybody. Y'all in the
Hey,
building.
Diva, everybody.
Now. Hit that like button, people.
Hey.
Hit that like button. You know what I'm going to start to do? I'm going to start to not even pull this train out the station until I count the tickets, okay? But because I don't want y'all to keep me in overtime, I'm gonna go ahead and work, okay? I ain't got no bail money. Come on, Leah, get that ticket. I appreciate you. All right,
Hey,
everybody,
Diva.
mute your lines. Yes, Dustin?
Oh, I was going to say something real quick before
Go ahead.
you started, Diva. If people don't start getting their tickets on Diva's train while I'm here, they're going to get kicked off. I don't like that when they don't get their tickets. Diva's on here every night doing a job, so she deserves to get every ticket she can. And I'm going to make an announcement. I might not be here on Thursday. I don't know yet. I got something planned on Thursday. So if I'm not here, everybody needs to protect me while I'm not here.
Aww. Thank you, Dustin. Aww. That's
That was
my
sweet.
boo. Okay. Did y'all hear Dustin? Okay. He done gave the announcements for the conductor. Okay. And he said, in his absence, don't play Diva out. I love you, Dustin. All right.
I might be here, I might not, so I'll be surprising you, Diva.
Okay, and I appreciate you. You don't worry. You gave the announcement ahead of time, and that's all that matters. You be over here working, Dustin, and I appreciate you. All right.
I do my job every night.
Yes, you do. You better talk to the
I'm
people.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right next to my best friend Diva every night. I'm gonna do my job for Diva, and I won't never miss a day.
Thank you, Dustin. All right, people. I need everybody to mute so I can give the platform the information on this story. Okay, so mute your lines while I give the information on story number one. We're gonna deal with this situation that's very unfortunate. The young lady who got the brick on the side of her face. It's sad. So first I'm gonna let her tell her story herself, okay? And then I'll get into the article. So this is the young lady. It's terrible. Okay, let's see what she got here. She says she's still in shock. She's just showing her face. Oh, she's crying. This video doesn't have sound, so she's just showing this side of her face where you see how swollen her face is. She's a single mom. Okay, so let's go to the next video.
Have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I told all these men, like, "Yo, why this man got a brick on my face?" And he's holding a brick, and all these watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and then they all just watch, and they let that get in the car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women? I'm just trying to take my friend out from 5 years ago. Like, literally spending my whole money, not bothering nobody. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? I'm in the parking lot just trying to buy some food. And, like, I'm literally like, why is this busting up on me like this? And I'm looking at all these. They literally let this do all of this. They let like really like do all of that. I never thought it was gonna happen, yo. Like, it's so wild. And he's gonna get away with it. He got in the car. He got away. He's never gonna get caught. He's gonna move on. He's probably at an after party right now having a good time. Do you feel good about yourself doing this to a woman? For what? Like, all this violence against black women is not okay. Like, what do I do to deserve this? Like, what is my defense against this? It's been 12 hours. I'm in the hospital. I'm getting discharged. I do have a concussion, so I gotta take it slow for a week. Unfortunately, I don't have the kind of job that's gonna give me that kind of grace. So, I still gotta mother. I still gotta teach. I still gotta work. I really just want the best for everybody, and I don't know why people want to kill me. I can't even chew food the next week. I had a vacation that I planned 6 months ago for my birthday. I'm so afraid. Like, why do people want to hurt me so bad? I really love my community, and just to know that, like, people hate me to this level. Have I ever done to anybody in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch and they don't give a yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock and he hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see that? What do y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man. Do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? In my face with a brick, and all these black men just walk.
Woo. All right, I'm just gonna. Ooh, this is a lot. All right, I'm gonna show some more. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna share screen one
Hey,
more
in my
time.
opinion.
Let me see. Is this what I want to show? Yeah. So a Houston woman hit in the face with brick after refusing to give her number to a guy. A Houston woman says she was hit in the face with a brick after a man asked her for her number and she told him no. The details of the incident are limited since the video was uploaded by the woman herself who was making the accusations in the video. The woman has a knot the size of a grapefruit, which she said was caused by being hit with a brick. She said the guy approached her, asked her for her number. She told him no, and then he picked up a brick. The woman said that the black man stood by and did nothing as she was struck by an unidentified man. Okay. It is disheartening to see black men standing by idly by a black woman is being assaulted by a black man who cannot handle rejection. A new video has surfaced of the woman above seen slapping a white man in the face. The Houston woman appeared to be wearing a different clothing in the video than she was wearing on the night that she was hit with a brick. Okay, so I think this video, this one here is the one we already saw. Let me just make sure.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a. Yeah, this man hit me. Grabbed a rock and it hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. What you want to do? What you want to do? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man. Do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? Yo, I ain't.
Okay, so we already saw that, and this is the one apparently where I don't know if she was doing a prank, but we'll see this. So they want to show, I mean, I guess she does pranks for her TikTok, and she's there, you know. This is a lot, people. This is a lot. Dustin, what are your thoughts? Nobody protected her?
I think it's pretty sad, David, and I think that people need to be protecting other people. And like I said the other day, I would do anything for anybody on this panel, no matter what if you're black or white. I don't matter what color you are. We're just regular We're just regular people. We have feelings and we have emotions, and she deserves everything, but she don't deserve that. I hope she gets better soon, and it's very sad.
It is very sad. Sebastian, what are your thoughts?
This is a very sad situation.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, because no one deserves to be aid in the street. No matter what your race was or whatever it is, whatever your gender was, either you don't deserve to be aid. No, that's just, it's a violation. But will they catch the guy? Do you think they'll catch the guy? And there's so many things that are missing.
If nobody spoke up to help her at that time, do you really think though? And they had it. I'm assuming that the guy was friends with the people that was standing around, so they're not going to dime him out.
So, do you guys really think that? I feel like there's more to this story. I don't think that he just threw a brick. I'm sorry. Even then, he still shouldn't have done it. Mm-hmm. But still, I feel like there's a lot of missing gaps in this story, and I'm sorry. I do feel bad for this woman. No one deserves to be getting hit by a brick. Mm-hmm. But there needs to be more information, and I want the Houston police to do an investigation and figure out more things that they can do in this situation.
Yeah, some people are saying, well, why isn't her face bandaged?
Well, maybe the brick didn't hit her lip. Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'm thinking that too. Where he hit it seemed like he hit her more towards this side area here. And just because your face is swollen up, they're not going to bandage it and try to bind up the swelling, because I'm sure it had more swelling to do. And probably if we would have saw the post days of her, she would have did a video post. I'm sure it probably would have been some more black and blue going on. Either way, no matter what, in my opinion, he had no right picking up a brick, and slamming her in the side of the face just because he
I
didn't get
agree.
her phone
I
number.
agree with that. He had no
There's
right.
no excuse for that. There's
There's
just
no
none.
excuse, but I just want to know more details about this thing.
Mhm.
And you know, we don't know. Maybe the guy suffered from some sort of mental illness as well. So, you know, we don't know. We don't know, which is why I want more information on this case. I want more investigation because, you
Mhm.
know, we are in a time where mental health is a really big situation in our country, and we have to acknowledge that.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are saying that her pranks are probably a little problematic. You know, and I will say, when you open Pandora's box to reckless behavior, some people will cross the line and go too far. But I still have to agree, a brick. Go ahead, Roya. What are your thoughts?
Pardon my French for this, but mental health is bullshit. Anybody that has the right mind to pick up a brick and slap somebody across the face with it, screw mental health. It's nothing wrong with you. You just a effed up individual. And then for the other gentleman to stand around like a bunch of pussies and do nothing about it is problematic for me. The unfortunate thing about this is not new to our community. There are several Black women in our community who are beat on a regular basis by their husbands, boyfriends, and friends. And friends know about it, and a lot of people don't do anything, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Now, in those situations, especially speaking of a relationship situation, it's a little harder to step in and to help out because sometimes people are, bound in that relationship. And then when you try to help out, they get mad at you. But in this situation, for all of these men to stand around while one man with a brick slaps someone in the face, and for none of them to do that, I personally feel like charges need to be pressed against each and every one of them. Because if you'll stand there and allow them to do it to her, you'll allow them to do it to your daughters.
I agree with you. Handy B, I feel like once she went to the hospital and reported what happened to her, they automatically notify the police. I don't know. I guess, are you saying people? I didn't go digging for police reports. I don't know if anybody else did, another YouTuber. Then you said, I'm not agreeing to her being hit. However, her behavior is gutter. I'm just saying. So I don't follow this girl on TikTok. I just happen to see the story. So I guess they're saying her TikTok is pretty deplorable. I can't attest to that because I don't follow her and haven't seen any videos outside of this particular prank that I just showed here, on my channel that was in this article. Denzel, what are your thoughts?
Listen, okay,
I agree with you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Denzel. Sorry.
no, you fine. That video you saw when she slapped the man, was that a skit? Because it looked
I
like a
really
skit to
think that
me.
was a skit. Because she didn't even slap him hard. It was like a little slap.
Yeah,
Twerking.
yeah,
I believe that was a
yes,
skit, but I really want to deal with this guy in the brick.
right. Yeah,
That's a lot.
I want to say something on that. Yeah. So, this is, look, he was wrong for throwing that brick at her. Like, come on. And I keep hearing stories about, you know, black women in general, getting, can I say assaulted?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I can say that word.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I be seeing that women, and black women in general, they get assaulted by these men. That what, that was not a man. That wasn't a man. That was a punk, because a real man would not do that. And to those other men, the other so-called men that was standing around, they not men either. They cowards and they punks. And they didn't even do nothing. They didn't protect her. They didn't do nothing. So he's not gonna get away with it, because you know why? Karma don't forget address. Okay, Jesus Christ, he sees everything, he knows everything. So that being said, he's going to get his karma. And when his karma do come, he shouldn't be crying and all that, because you know what, he shouldn't have done that. What you do to other people, it's going to come right back on you. Okay, like I said, he going to get his karma. God don't like ugly. I'm praying for her, and I hope she gets better. We, you know, us men, everybody, we need to protect black women and women in general. Women need to be protected from these no good, low down, dirty, coward, childish punk men. They're not men, they punks. So that's it. Because that right there, that burned me up.
Yeah.
Sorry for my time on Diva.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Sharing your thoughts.
Yeah.
Pass the collection plate, because Denzel said it perfectly. I agree with everything Denzel said. There's no excuses. And this is my first time hearing of the skit situation. But even if you're doing a skit, there's no excuses for you to be going about your life, and cowardly men, like Denzel said, can't just take no for an answer. There's no excuses, zero. I hope she gets justice, and I feel like it's very sad. And I feel like it's very sad too why we gotta ask a million questions whenever we get hurt. It's like,
Right.
I want to see this. I want to know this. What did you do?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yep, I do.
So
I do. Listen.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, listen. I've seen walking in the streets in the city, just being out and about, how people get mad when you don't want to give your number. I've seen people get mad because I didn't want to accept the drink, even when I said I don't drink. And they kept saying, drink. What do you want to drink? Blah, blah, blah. And like 10 times, I don't drink. Like, I don't want the drink because I don't drink. Like, so some people need to learn how to accept like a no. I don't want to always just say rejection, but know how to accept the no. No,
and
is
we
no.
have a right to say no.
Yes.
Just when you're walking in the streets and a guy is like, da 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 da, you're so beautiful, whatever, you ignore him, or you say, oh, I'm okay, thank you. You walk away. Oh, you this, you that. Like, we have a right to tell you no.
Right.
And you are supposed to accept the no and move on with your life.
That part, point blank in the period. Gwendolyn, I do remember this story. Remember the story, guys, where the girl was with her boyfriend, another guy. He was a basketball player. I want to say, I think a college basketball player, and his parents were very prominent. And he ends up unaliving this girl. Do y'all remember that story? I think it might have been last year. I'm gonna see if I could pull it up by Felicia Go. But yes,
what state was that?
I can't remember the state off the top of my head right now, but I know the kid was a prominent basketball player, I want to say in college. His parents were very prominent. Grew up in a good family, and the girl was with her boyfriend. And she rejected him, and they unalived her in the car. Like,
oh my Lord,
trying to leave. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I heard about that too.
I remember, like a college basketball player.
Yes, this is real situations that happen. People say no, move on with your life. There's somebody for everybody. But to pick up a brick and knock this girl on the side of her face because she didn't want to give her number, Now, back when I was growing up, but see, now you can't do that now because everybody got a cell phone and they could call you or text you right away and be like, "Did you get it?" Listen, we used to give out fake numbers. Give out my.
Oh, they be trying to call you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, now you can't do that with cell phones
Yeah.
because they're trying to. Everybody's like, "Okay, I'm gonna call you right now. Then make sure lock my number in." No, but
Give an
when
old
I was
phone
growing
number.
up, when I was growing up, we only had the home phones. You had to give the number. We used to give wrong numbers, or sometimes you get your girlfriend number, whatever. But you didn't have to. But now it's different because everybody has cell phones. Felicia, what are your thoughts on this story?
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So, God bless baby sis Shan. Thank you, girl. Thank you so much for coming up and speaking what you believe.
Thank
Thank you, Roya and Denzel. There's a lot we don't know here. But what I saw, her face was hit with something. Okay? She was harmed by somebody. And she was telling us that she didn't even know the somebody. But what she did know was that she was with at least 6 other people in a group, and no one came forward. So let's be clear. Coming forward might be dialing 911 for a paramedic, bringing over a cold ice bottle maybe to put on her face, asking her if she's okay. It didn't look like she got any kind of support, and she wasn't by herself. But she was by herself. And I think in this day and age, and I was reflecting on that mother in Chicago who went to go get that meal and had her baby in the car, the 14-year-old son. And the guy was mad at her because she was trying to get that order right. And he went and slugged her and struck her. And there was those men on the line and nobody did anything for her. And the girlfriend is out there encouraging the boyfriend. And it was her son who had to intervene and end the madness. This is wrong. And it's real, folks. So the folks in the chat, oh, I need more. I need to see more. How come the face ain't cut? It ain't bloody. Well, let somebody hit you in the face with a brick or a baseball bat. And then you'll understand. Women are not protected out here, especially Black women. And I am really disappointed when I hear folks step up and want to know, oh, what did she say? Where was she going? Oh, she did this. No justification.
Why she wore that? Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And Dee was talking about back in the day. Back in the day when you would say to someone, well, no, thank you. As you would say, Shan, you get called an ugly hoe, all kind of bitches, you was a dyke, F you slut, you were this. All because you said, no, thank you. Now you can't even say no. You can't even say no and be safe. So to all those who don't understand how unsafe it is out here, please become more aware. Just be more observant and see what's going on. These men are so emotionally immature that a no would set someone up to pick up a brick. And I believe it because it looks like bricks would be in that kind of space to bring harm and to hurt this beautiful woman. She's talking about she doesn't know how she's going to make her money because she has to go to work. She went to go take a friend to lunch. And I'm hearing somebody, oh, there's more here. Look at her face. I don't know if you really need more. Thank you, Dee.
You're welcome. Yeah, I think that's her TikTok name. For someone that asked, I'm not positive. So if you want to check and see, that might be her TikTok name. Erin, thank you for the information because I did find the article too. But this is just to remind you that unfortunately, so here's the thing. It's this story I heard once where they said the guy said, just because I robbed one bank don't mean I robbed all 30. And so what I want to say here is just because this girl makes TikTok videos, and I believe the videos that she makes, because if you notice, it was a tap on that guy's face. I think it's all people that she knows, because now everybody will do anything to become a social media sensation overnight. It is incredibly crazy. Now, other people are saying, she bashes black men, this, that, and the other. I don't know that, so I can't even speak on that. So I don't want to speak on something I don't know. So I'm not even going to pretend I know that or not. But I will say this: I do not believe
black men, Diva. It doesn't give anybody a right to pick up anything and hit nobody across the face. That's just not. It's not your job. That's not nobody's job. Nobody.
No, I agree, and I totally agree with you, Raya, 100%. But I just want people to know that I don't know all of that. But what I do know is that a brick across your face, and I don't see this as a stunt. Her face was really swollen. I just want to remind you of this story, because this is another young lady that she did absolutely nothing. And as a result, she's no longer alive. Okay. All because she allegedly, this is a prior story, didn't want to speak to the guy. So let's just get reminded of this. I'm going to play this really quickly. With my sound.
A fatal shooting near the University of Alabama.
One of the suspects is also a former University of Alabama basketball player. Stephanie Ramirez is live in Northeast with more details. Stephanie, what have you learned?
Teacher Rob, so the university player, we're told, is one of two men originally from the greater D.C. area arrested and charged in the murder of a 23-year-old woman. This was in Alabama this past weekend. That University of Alabama player, he's been identified as Darius Miles. Now, we are still waiting for D.C. Public Schools to confirm this, but it says online that at one point he played basketball at Theodore Roosevelt High School behind us here in Northwest D.C. And also before playing for the university. But I want you to listen to this as well.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
That was a tearful Darius Miles getting arrested. 21-year-old Miles of D.C. and 20-year-old Michael Davis of Charles County, Maryland, are facing capital murder charges. Online, it says capital murder can carry a life or death sentence in the state of Alabama. Tuscaloosa Police Chief Jack Kennedy told reporters that around 1:45 Sunday morning, Alabama University police were dispatched to an area by the school's stadium for a female passenger shot. Police said the driver, the woman, was with returned fire in self-defense, hitting one of the suspects. They have not said which, but police later arrested Miles and Davis, saying it appears the shooting stemmed from a minor argument between the two. The two groups are not believed to know one another. Now, Miles's father, David Miles, made this post to his public Facebook account earlier today, thanking people for their support. He also wrote, "I know it's a daunting task, but if anyone that is a friend of Tracy, Darius, or mine that is financially capable to be in Tuscaloosa tomorrow when we go before the judge for support, it will be greatly appreciated." The father is known in the area as a basketball coach. We did go to his home to speak with David Miles, but he declined to comment. Attorneys for Darius Miles say the 20-year-old D.C. native maintains his innocence. Alabama's head coach said today that Miles had been out for a couple of weeks during the season and back in D.C. to deal with a separate personal matter. And then just Saturday, he was ruled out for the rest of the season for an ankle injury. Then he's arrested for the fatal shooting on Sunday. Miles dismissed from the team immediately after.
Talked to Darius's mother multiple times yesterday. Very hard situation on both accounts. So, we just continue to pray for Jamia and her family, although I didn't know them, but they're certainly in our thoughts and prayers, and continuing to pray for Darius's situation too. It's just an unfortunate incident that wish we weren't having to deal with today.
As we're still trying to confirm if there is going to be a court hearing tomorrow, we also reached out to the other suspect's family. They declined to comment as well. We are told the 23-year-old killed Jamia Harris. She leaves behind a 5-year-old child. Back to you.
So just a reminder of that particular story. In that particular story, it was alleged that he was with a friend. They tried to talk to this young lady. This young lady was with her boyfriend. She refused to talk to him. And then it all went down, right? So very sad. Emmanuel, your thoughts on this brick situation?
Let me begin by saying we got to do better in raising the new generation, because people need to learn about self-control and respect.
Come on,
no means no, and that's it. There's
Yes.
no excuses. You never put your hands on anyone, let alone hit them with a brick.
that could have put her out of this world.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I don't think the right response is to blame the other men that were there. Y'all may call them cowards, but put yourself in their shoes for a second and think if you would put yourself in a dangerous situation where maybe you won't be coming back home to your family. That's not to say they shouldn't have defended her, but you can't have it both ways. As women, you can't go around screaming, I don't need no man, men are trash, men are worthless, I am independent and don't need no one. But you expect a man to risk his life to fight for you. I just wanted to say that. It's the truth.
I want to say this.
That part.
See something, say something, do something. Now, I don't know the in-between particulars, right? But we all agree that these young punks are so fragile. Rejection hurts the prize of these punks. Come on, Dadon. I want to say this. Sometimes there's a group of men there, and one of them is about to act a fool, and the other men will step in and say, okay, whoa. You don't put your hands on a lady. Now you're going too far. For all of those men to just stand there and do nothing, I think is shameful. For this man allegedly got in the car and got away and ran away after he did this to her. So even if the cops came, he was already gone. Now, my thing is but I do know that this generation, everything for y'all, and I'm saying this respectfully, is your first thought is record and pick up a phone and this, that, and the other. And maybe parts of that recording is going to help her later on if they try to look for this man and they can identify one of the men in the video to say, okay, do y'all know who this guy is? Maybe that's going to help her. But I don't know if maybe one of the girlfriends called the police. I don't know. But for those men not to step in, somebody had this, and sometimes things do go really quickly, right? But he picked up a brick and slammed this brick across this girl's face. And I can't get with the concept of these men shouldn't have helped her. I can't get with that. That's
no, Diva. I don't think that's what. No one has said that on this panel.
Well, what did Emmanuel just said? He said we can't be.
No, he said this. He said,
okay,
on the other hand, we're all saying that the men should have helped her.
For me. Go ahead.
He said on the other. Don't make that face.
What are you laughing at?
Don't make that face, Diva. Okay, he said on the other hand that you can't expect men to help you when all you post about is men are trash, men are ish, we don't need men. We can do all we want. Women.
Okay, so let me come on,
men are trashy.
Right.
So hold on, Sebastian. Let me say this. When we want to do a bucket and generalize things, right? We can't do that. I think that, it's these pickup concepts of I am woman, hear me roar. Or listen, I'm just saying in general, you can't expect a woman to do 50, 60 hours of work and then traditionally still come home, clean the house, make the dinner and all that, right? Because I can't be out doing 50 hours and you out doing 50 hours, but you want me to still come home and do all this traditional stuff. That's a whole nother conversation in and of itself, right? So that's the I am woman, hear me roar type of situation, right? And that's for a very good reason. But there's no one, whether both of y'all are working 40 hours a week, you're both are breadwinners in the household, there's still no woman at the end of the day that doesn't want her man to defend her. Where that happen at? Nowhere on this earth. So when you are with your husband, your significant other, or so forth and so on, yeah, you want your man to defend you. And you want your brother, your uncles, your cousins, your male cousins to defend you. Not you out there acting crazy and getting them into some mess for no reason. But when there's a man there and another man is about to lose his mind and a whole bunch of other men are there and they don't block it, that's messy. Period.
Even
In
look
my
at
opinion,
Priscilla's
go
comment
ahead.
in the chat. Look at Priscilla's comment in the chat. Priscilla
Okay.
Willis.
Let me see. Unfortunately, they're saying Little Lady is a female equivalent of Kevin Samuels. Folks say Karen deserved to die, but let's say he got hit with that brick. Would the thoughts be different? So here's the thing, Priscilla. No, here's the thing. I gotta do a case by case basis, right? And so I need to know. I can't speak on her TikTok because I don't know it. But what I can say is a lot of people do TikTok pranks. But those TikTok pranks does not represent their whole life and who they are. She did not, if you see that video of the slap, it wasn't like a wind your hand up, come from the back, whoosh across this guy's face. Now, I guess people are saying she just hates black men, but I'm going to say this, regardless, there's no excuse to be picking up a brick and hitting somebody, or the whole world will always be fighting each other. We will all be fighting each other for one reason or another. So I'm going to isolate this and put this in the box. In this particular situation, there was no reason for this guy to pick up a brick, hit this girl across the face just because she said, no, you cannot have my number. Kevin Samuels is a whole nother story in and of itself. I don't want to go down that road. In my opinion, what are your thoughts?
Well, you skipped E Diva. It kind of shifted.
I did. Who did I skip?
E.
E. Go ahead,
The
E.
screen shifted.
Yeah, it did shift. Go ahead, E. Thank you, in my opinion. Is E there? Oh, go ahead.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. So for me, I'll say this. You know, I don't agree with violence on either side. Let me just say that. And for something this severe and this egregious to happen, I like I tell you all the time, and somebody used my quote earlier, I need the details. As Black women, we have to be careful with who we position in front of this Protect Black Women movement. And as mothers, we must ensure that we are mitigating our losses before they come and not putting ourselves in situations which we will need to be protected from later. I know that may rub some people the wrong way, but I just have 3 points I want to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I really hate that she even brought single moms into this. I'm a single mom, and this is not about her kids. This is about this woman hanging outside to the wee hours in the morning. Forget those kids. It's because she is a single mom that she should be more thoughtful regarding the content which she posts online, making the type of content in which she does, which is degrading to the manosphere in their own words, then turning around and asking those same men for protection. That's wild to me. Now, art imitates life, so we have to be intentional with the image we put out. The fact that she has a concussion and other fractures in her face to the point she says she can't even chew her food until next week. How the hell is she propping up her phone and turning on the live to record these crocodile tears? Don't cry to me, baby girl. You need to call your babysitter. You're a single mom, aren't you? Your first thought should be to those kids you left at home at night without a parent, because, honey, it was nighttime in that video. Secondly, your face hurts so bad to the point you can't even chew, and you have a concussion, but you're outside screaming from the top of your lungs, getting in more men's faces, putting your life and healing, potential healing, at more risk. Close your mouth and stop sensationalizing this event of misfortune. I agree with Denzel. This, to me, appeared to be a skit gone wrong. I don't know. I could be 10,000% wrong. I believe she was hit with a brick. I believe that 10,000%. But the details surrounding that event and the escalation process, I need more details. I need more details because she's screaming. We know, first of all, I've seen her TikTok. She's been trying to go viral for a long time. and she's screaming, protect Black women and protect single moms. Well, single Black moms need to be in the house that time of night. She's talking about she won't be able to go to work. Why not? Your mouth still works just fine, even with your concussion and not being able to, not being able to chew. Go on light duty. Stop seeking the protection of Black men. That's my last point. That's my third and final point. Stop seeking the protection of Black men who are not married to you, because most Black men in this country are strangers to you. They're strangers, and they ain't got nothing for us except more babies out of wedlock, neglect, and disrespect. We just heard Emmanuel say it. He said it. He said, I'm not getting involved. I have a family to get home to, too. That's how these men think. I want to go home too. We just heard him say that. This girl came with 6 other folks, I heard you say. I think I heard you say that. And not one of them chased after that car and chased that man down the street. Oh, that's a red flag to me. Where are those 6 people? I need to hear from them. What do they have to say? But I do want this to be my final point. Heterosexual Black men are the least likely to marry. I've said it dozens of times. I've heard this point other places. The least likely to marry and the most likely to commit DV against Black women. Black women, it is incumbent upon us to take our safety and measures to ensure our safety in our own hands. Stand your ground and arm yourself. These men don't even protect themselves. They're so callous with their own life. They are the lesser vessels when it comes to mentality, virtue, and emotional intelligence. Protect yourself. We have to protect ourselves and stop putting ourselves in these situations and then asking for help. I can't get with this. Sorry.
Whoa. Please don't call
When
the
is he
panelists.
getting a channel?
Hold on 1 second. Please stop calling don't call the panelists names. Everybody got their opinion and their right to speak their opinion. And it is what it is. But I want to say this in terms of what E is saying, right? The thing is, I don't care, and I want to watch the words and be easy, right? Because I don't want them to shut this thing down. I don't care if someone sells their body on the street. It's wrong. It's wrong. But I don't think because you were selling your body on the street, now you deserve to get beat down and unalived. I don't care that, you want to go viral. I think it's wrong. So hear me out. I hope we can actually have a real conversation here. I think it's wrong, but I think society is now built that people understand that if you do the right things on social media, one day you can be begging for $1 and the next day you could be a straight millionaire. So unfortunately, these people will do anything to go viral on these different platforms. And believe it or not, even on YouTube, you won't believe the cat fights that happen behind the scenes. They just happen, and you got to learn how to deal with them. So I'm just saying that I don't really care what you do on the side, but I'm still going to say that doesn't justify some perfect stranger coming up to you and feeling like they can do whatever to harm you because they don't like what you're doing over here. I don't think it's right at all. And so, yeah, there was people with her. I would love to hear from them, to hear more of the story. Again, I don't agree with her picking up her phone and recording. That was her first thought, but that's how she lives. She's probably the type of person that goes to sleep, wakes up, and everything is social media. I'm not a poster. I'm not really a big social media person. But everybody that's talking to me in terms of building this platform, whatever, they're saying I need to get with it a whole lot more. But, I just got to get used to it. But there are babies now. I really think on these people registry, they put get the kid a cell phone, get the newborn a cell phone. These kids now are like born with electronics in their hands. And when I go on vacation, I'm on a plane, there's not a baby or a child that I don't see that has a tablet. They have those little kid tablets, and they know how to work these things better than I do. So social media is like a lifeline to a lot of people now, and that's all they know. The minute something happens, they pick up a cell phone. Now, there's many incidents, as we have all seen, that if someone did not record it, justice might not have come forth. I think because she lives with that cell phone on her hand and she records, the first thing she thought of was, oh my God, let me take out my phone and record this. And sometimes you in so much shock that the pain doesn't hit you immediately. Our bodies are built to protect itself. So, she probably was in such shock that pain didn't hit her immediately because she was in such shock probably that it happened. And then on top of it happening, that all of those people around her and no one helped. She said, I didn't believe he was going to do it. So I felt like he had the brick in his hand, but she didn't think he was actually going to hit her with the brick. Adrenaline. Thank you, Sheila. I don't think that she thought he was going to hit her with the brick. And when he actually hit her, I think it shocked her. So I get what everybody's saying, but I will say this. I will never, ever, ever get with the fact that this guy picked up this brick and he should be justified. Southern Belle, listen, if you're in critical condition like do severe, you're on a ventilator or in the ICU, there's no way I'm picking up a phone. I'm picking up some prayers to God. That's you, Southern Belle. But we just see that Christian Rock went on Instagram Live while she was giving birth.
But that's different, though. She was giving birth.
How is that different? It's Instagram Live.
She wasn't complaining about someone hitting her.
It's
and dire pain.
It's the concept of your mindset around social media. Now, if my family member in there was videotaping for me so I can have a video later of me having a baby, I get that. But you're talking about, I'm just trying to get you in the mindset of this generation, that social media is like their friend. You giving birth Instagram Live. I think it's crazy. But again, that's me. But I understand it because I understand that this generation now, everything is a video. Everything is a post. I'm telling you, when I worked in peds, they was taking videos and pictures of their babies in the crib with the tubes and the this and the that. Posted on Facebook. We're here at the hospital now. We're in this. We're in ICU. We just left ICU. Now we going to the regular room. Are we getting discharged right now? It was a whole collage. We're rolling down the hall. We're going to X-ray. Pray for us. We're about to go to MRI. Would I be thinking that? No, but I'm not from that generation where I was born with this. This came when I was already here. There are people that are born with this, and this is all they know because, respectfully, I ain't judging no parents. From the minute those kids can breathe and really see and understand, they got a tablet in their face. You pass by a 2-year-old, and I'm promise you, they know how to pull up on the tablet. Every cartoon or music they want to hear, they could do it themselves. They know how to scroll with the finger and everything. In my opinion, you're up.
Well, Diva, I'm glad you understand because I'm sitting here and I'm baffled. I listen to all these people and I'm just baffled. Because first of all, let's take black, let's take woman, let's take all that out the equation. Nobody has the right to pick up an object and hit you across your face.
Agreed.
Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. If a parent does that, that's child abuse. So why would a grown person have the right to hit somebody just because they said no to them? I'm going to need y'all to grow up, okay? Mm-hmm. First of all, if you've not heard no before, then there's something wrong with you. And I need you to get that checked because this world ain't made for y'all, okay? So I'm going to need y'all to go get some counseling real quick, like real. I don't care what this woman does, what she had done. He had no right to put his hands on her at all. Period, point blank. I am disgusted that this man thought he had the right to pick up an object. First of all, that he had the right to touch her at all. If he had to hit her with his hand, that would have been enough to trigger something in this lady. She's a lady. He's a man. His strength is way stronger than hers. But then he had the object to pick up a brick at that. to hit her. He could have knocked her eye out of socket. He could have busted her eardrum. He could have done a lot of damage. He could even, possibly unalive this lady. And we sitting here talking about what she said on her social media. Was they playing the social media outside? Like, did that justify him picking up an object and hitting her?
I don't see it. Jersey Girl 68 said this is fake, just like the Alabama girl who said she was kidnapped.
Say what?
But here's the thing though. You think this girl that bruise and swelling on her face is real? You think she would just have somebody do that just to go viral?
She was in the hospital too.
Yeah.
She showed the hospital room. So how you fake that? It was a bruise on her face. She showed you an indent by her ear. Something hit her.
I don't know. It's crazy.
I think the police would have found the person already. Something is not mathing here, which is why I said I need more details.
How do you think the police would have found them already, though?
That's not true. How many people do we have out here to this day? Cases still open, and they have not found victims that have the people that have harmed the victims. That is not true at all.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people in the graveyard that ain't got justice.
Centuries, yeah.
The cameras on the red light cameras would have picked something up. The license plates. I'm telling you, this situation. I'm just seeing that I don't.
Or
there's a
she
lot
could
of
have
things.
There's
recorded
not always
Oh,
a red
please.
light camera. Not
She could have
every
recorded the guy real quick
light
since she
has
got
a
her phone
camera
so
on it.
fast.
Oh, we blaming the victim now?
No, I'm not blaming. No one's blaming the victim. Everyone is just
Okay.
saying
It
that
sound
there's
like
things that
it.
are there's gaps in this story, and I need to know more.
Okay,
I need to know
okay.
more, and we don't know if she was threatening to do something or like this. Mind you,
Okay, so
Texas is
Sebastian, if somebody walked up to your
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on
Texas
one
is a
second.
standard
Hold on,
bearer
guys.
state.
Time out. Sebastian, if she was, while she was telling them, man, like, y'all really not going to do nothing, trust me, they would have said, like, well, you was doing XYZ. Because they literally said, well, what you want us to do?
That part.
So I don't think it's that deep. Plan B, I don't know what's going on here. The train is shaking.
I'm
That's
not
all I
blaming
can
the
tell you.
victims. Why are y'all all
Yeah, come
saying
on,
this?
Sheila,
No,
security. Because
nobody's blaming the victims.
it does sound like it's victim blaming when we want to try to dig up all this information.
Because we do need more information. We can't believe everyone.
But Sebastian,
Stop.
it is a point blank in the period. He picked up a brick and hit her.
I agree. That's
exactly, Diva.
I think that Sebastian, he agrees with that. We all know the ending. What Sebastian is asking for is the beginning. That's the part we're missing. What happened?
And the middle.
She gave you the beginning. The man asked for her number. She said no, and he got
Exactly.
angry and
That's what
decided with a brick.
she
What
is.
more do you want? What more do you
Exactly.
What
I
more
want
do
the
you say to
you know what
satisfy y'all?
I want the six
Not
people who were
everything is
there
that
to come out and tell me what happened. That's what I
They didn't say
You're not
anything
gonna
when
that's
she asked
victim
them to
blame.
say something. Why would they say something now? Are y'all not
Exactly.
Red
Exactly, Royale.
that is a red flag that the six people that she came with that she knew before won't say anything for her. No, that is strange. Something else is going on.
If they say something, they have no information on the gentleman that
I'm not
actually
asking for
did the
information on the
crime.
gentleman. I just want to know the dialogue. What happened prior?
What does it matter?
You're not gonna
This
victim
man
blame.
hit
That's
you
what you're not
upside
gonna
the
do.
face with a brick.
You said, what does it matter? It
If
matters because
somebody
when
hits
we
you
go to
upside
court,
the face with a brick, you're gonna be like,
Let
well,
him
I
know,
want
E.
the dialogue. No, you don't want no dialogue. You
Well,
want this individual found and arrested. What are we talking about, people?
well, excuse me, when we go to court, this does come into it. They do bring things that, into your character.
Maybe it was
You have to play out.
self-defense.
You do have to play
Diva,
out.
help,
true,
please,
Sebastian.
Diva.
That's
This
true.
is not unusual. This is how cases play out in court. What are you talking about? What does it matter? It matters.
Okay, so hold on. Security. Hold on 1 second. Yes, the dispatch, the train has derailed. Denzel, did you get to speak on this situation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did I skip anybody on this situation?
Yeah, you skipped me,
Okay,
Diva.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Felicia. I'm sorry.
Okay. So listen. E, I really like you and I really respect you. And let me tell you, yes, I'm a mother and I'm going to be outside any damn time I want to be outside. And nobody has the right to harm or hurt me. I don't care how dark it is. I don't care how desolate it is. I don't care what I'm wearing. I don't care who I'm with or not with. I believe you are out of bounds, saying she had no right to be outside because it was dark.
Well, I respect your opinion.
Thank you, E.
All right. Okay, we're going to move on.
Someone play Michael Jackson, Heal the World.
That ain't gonna work, Shan. That is not gonna work.
Thank you,
two
Stan,
things
for the
can
laugh.
be
Michael
true at the
Jackson.
same time. What I'm saying and what everyone else is saying can be true at the same time. Two things can
No,
be
everything can't be nothing of what you said can be true. Okay? Because
That
first
part
of
is
all,
my
you
opinion.
okay with a woman being hit because of her social media. So
No,
no,
I
nothing
never
in you
said
that she
that.
say can be true.
I never said that. I
How
have
that
said that
song
can
go?
be
Diva,
true.
come back. We need you, Diva. Security.
How that song go? Heal the world.
The world.
Heal the world, make it a better
That's all right.
place. That's her.
Oh my God.
Is Mercury still in retrograde?
All the planets in Mercury in
I didn't say
retrograde on
it.
this side.
We moving on. I'm aborting mission. Prayers out to this young lady. You know, if there's an update on the story, I will give it. But I will say this too, right? I just happen to be. But I told y'all before, I got people from all walks of life, and the last thing I do, you know what? I don't judge. I don't judge. But you know what? But I do agree. You know, why do we gotta stay in the house? We are every woman. You can go out every now and then. And the girl did say this too. It was her girlfriend that she hadn't seen in 5 years. She was just taking the girlfriend to get a piece of chicken. Now, she didn't say chicken. I'm paraphrasing, guys, but she wanted to take her friend that she ain't seen in a long time to get a little something to eat. What's the big deal? You got to live your life. That doesn't mean because she was out in them streets that, you know, she ain't a mother. Okay, now y'all done took her for Kiki Palmer when she went out there in her see-through outfit and all that. And you know, the boyfriend said, you a mother? Y'all took her for her. Take her for this young lady.
And she back with him.
And she back with him. That's a whole nother story.
How
I didn't
dreadful.
take up for her.
How
But,
dreadful.
Okay, so listen, we're moving on. We're moving on. I think I'm gonna go to the cop story next because we gotta lighten things up here. You know, the cop, he wanted to get jiggy with it while he was on duty. Okay. And for all of y'all that want to say like the cops don't like the brown people, he was with a brown sister. Now let's get into this story, okay? Okay, he was kissing her, and perhaps something else was going on. I don't know. We don't know. So Prince George County, I think this is Maryland, cop kisses a young woman, goes into patrol car with her too. Woo, woo, woo. They was doing something. Let me see if I could play this. Let's see. Let's play this.
Mira.
Look. They getting kissed. Yeah, they speak in Spanish. Tell us what they're saying when I come to you, Emmanuel.
No te vaya a ver porque pues. Vaya. Para el carro, mira, para atrás la lleva, mira, ve.
Look how she used to open. She's trying to open the car.
Ey, no, mira.
Now he doing this in broad daylight.
Ey, yo. Quítate, man, ¿verdad?
Quítate, Ale.
Ey, yo.
Ay, pero por lo menos disimulando que fuera llave, escondido.
Es un animal, es policía, pelón.
Woo woo. The cops getting him some on duty, okay? A uniformed police officer in Maryland was caught allegedly making out with a young woman in broad daylight and seemingly on the job, only to go into his cruiser with her shortly thereafter. The video is absolutely wild and it's going viral for a good reason. The footage was posted on TikTok Monday. This TikTok is getting people in trouble. It's a man's world, people. It's a man's world, okay? It shows a Prince George County cop with his arms wrapped around a female in the parking lot where other people are out and about. I mean, darn, you needed it that bad? You couldn't tell this chick to meet you after work. You on duty. You got your whole uniform on, the gun on you. Good goodness, okay? They appear to be engaged in an intimate moment which was only punctuated by the fact that the two of them then proceeded to hop in the back of his marked vehicle. Not on the state's money. You getting you some, closing the door behind him. On his face, it sure looks like something inappropriate is going down. Obviously, this is causing a stir for a lot of reasons. Namely, it seems to be showing an officer of the law engaged in unbecoming conduct, especially if he's working a shift. He was working, okay? And they said not the first rodeo. So they saw this going down before. Let me see if I can play a little bit there. Look, the ladies just be coming to the cruises, getting some. Look at coming back, getting in the car. Just hopped in. What kind of nonsense is going on here? By the way, there's a second clip that appears to show that another Prince George County cruiser pulled up, parked at the park too. And another young woman is seen running in and out of the vehicle, although the officer doesn't show up in that one. No word if it's the same guy, okay? So the Prince County Police Department says it's aware of the first video and that they're investigating it. They investigated. What? They probably married. Oop, yeah, he was working. Yeah, OMG. This is a hot mess. Dustin, the Popo is getting jiggy with it while on duty. What's your thoughts? Are you there, Dustin?
Diva, can I ask you a quick question? These people are getting arrested and stuff.
No, they ain't getting arrested.
Yeah, I am here now.
They ain't getting arrested. Hold on. That's Dustin is there. Hold on. Go ahead, Dustin. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. I think he needs to be arrested. I think he needs to be fired, David. Sorry I said that wrong. I think he needs to be fired because I think if he's an actual cop, I think that the cop needs to be doing their job, not being messing around with women on their job and their how to get it. He's just doing it in the car, and he should be on duty, not doing crazy stuff. So I think he should be fired because I don't like that kind of stuff. When people should be on duty doing the job and they ain't doing it.
Yep, thank you, Dustin. Lorraine said she could be an informant. He was serving. He was definitely serving. He's on duty. He's getting booty. He's getting some booty. Sebastian, what are your thoughts?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. You see, I'm kind of mixed on this. So, children were in the neighborhood. I saw a kid ran across the camera. But I want to know is because the person recording it is completely. We don't know how far they are and if they're zoomed in to the car. So maybe those kids appear closer than we can see. But still, this is very problematic. It's very unprofessional. But if he were to be fired for this, I think it would be unfair because there's a lot of people who do this. It's wrong in general. If this was the case, the whole police force would probably have to be completely gone because this is not the first time a police officer has done something like this. Growing up, I know some neighborhood NYPD officers that have done this, and they're still NYPD officers. This is very problematic. And all I want to know is, she did consent. She's the one who led the thing. She went inside there with him, before him. I want to know if...
Do you need more information?
No, I don't need more information because the cameras were there from the beginning, middle, and end. The cameras were there from the beginning, middle, and end. So I don't need more information. For your information. She is very...
Y'all stupid.
Is she a hooker? That's what I really want to know. Is she a hooker?
Oh, God, that was a good one.
Is she a hooker? Because I know this has happened a lot where police officers have been doing this. Even men in the military do this too when they go and they're deployed to foreign countries.
Sebastian, I need you to deal with the issue at hand.
I want to know, is she a hooker?
We don't know the details. We just know what we know so far. if
She
we
should
know,
definitely be fired, but a lot of other police officers, even the ones who probably in his same field, probably have done similar things. And they all need to be fired. It can't just be him. And we don't know. Maybe that's his wife too. We don't know. Maybe that's his wife.
Okay, now you playing games.
We don't know. We don't know. You
You
know, she
playing
probably came
games.
to deliver him something at lunch at his work site or something. We don't know.
No, this the chocolate sister. Little chocolate.
Well, what's wrong with him
She got
doing
little
some
tan-
melanin?
she got
What's
little
wrong
tan
with him
in
doing
it.
some
Look
melanin?
at this. Look at this kiss. Look at this kiss. Look at that kiss.
Picando está, mira.
That's a kiss.
No, yo con cuidado lo voy a mandar.
Putting your lips on the unknown chick.
Vaya. Claro, mira, para atrás la lleva, mira, ve.
Look his arm around her. Look at she familiar. She just ready to open the car door.
Ey, no, mira,
No shame to his game.
Ey, yo. Quítate, man, espérate.
Quítate, Ale.
Ey, yo.
Ay, pero por lo menos decimos que por allá, ve.
He should know better. He a whole cop, and he know people always filming.
Es un animal.
They in there getting it in.
Who
What
chat?
more info do you want?
I don't need more info. I'm just saying, what is she a hooker? Two, is she maybe? And someone mentioned something in the chat. Is she an informant and her life could have been in danger if she was seen talking to a police officer? So therefore, she seduced the police officer.
She should do some. Sebastian, I'm moving on.
We don't know. We don't know.
Royer, what are your thoughts?
You know, this is the exact thing that we kind of see on a regular basis. People of power taking advantage of the lower class and those who don't have power. Sebastian, what you said was problematic as far as saying that he should not be fired because others are doing this.
No, I said he shouldn't be fired, and so should the others. That's what I said. That's what I said. I said he should be fired, and so should the others, not just him. That's what I said.
That's not what you said, but okay.
Scroll back.
You scroll back and listen to what you said, because your exact words were, he shouldn't be fired because other people do this too. So, you know, no, that is exactly what you just said.
Ooh, woo, woo, woo.
Scroll back. It's problematic. He needs to be fired. And those who are also doing it need to be fired as well. This is a gentleman who we are paying with our tax dollars and who we are teaching our children that this is a safe individual that you can go to and call for help. Meanwhile, you screwing the people down the street in the park that the same kids that's supposed to look up to you are watching you do. Sir, this is problematic.
Thank you.
Come on, Royale. Buy the basketball court.
Where's your body cam? You obviously had to shut your body cam off. Problematic number two. What are you doing, sir? And this seems to be something going on in the county on a regular basis. So then we need to be looking at the sheriff or the police chief, because they are a reflection of what you teach them. What's going on in the county?
Thank you for saying that earlier.
Ooh, child. All right now. E, did I come to you on this situation?
But I love you, Sebastian. You know, it's the bros.
Okay, go ahead, E.
Well, scroll back if you love me.
So,
oh my God.
Diva, check your nephew. Let him know.
You did.
Thank you, Shan. Thank you.
Yeah, you did. But E, go ahead, E.
So when I've been forced to engage with the likes of police officers and medical professionals in the state of Maryland, I have come across some incompetence and unprofessionalism. And a few of these employees who took an oath to serve, having sex in a car in public, for the average civilian, you will get a ticket if the police.
That's facts. That's facts.
So,
Come on now. Okay, let me sit up. Go ahead, E. Now, come on now. Talk that talk.
Okay, Diva. Okay, I'm talking like you like. I love you. So, it's indecent exposure. This is indecent, as I can't remember who mentioned it. There were children around.
Yeah.
Okay, you were being filmed. I also did not like that angle from the back with his arm around her shoulders, because that can be misinterpreted as her being coerced and forced, even though she opened the door, because we can't hear the conversation that those two are having. Just because she opened the door doesn't mean that she wanted to go in there and do whatever they did. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I hear something. Is that
I just muted it. Go ahead.
And lastly, because this is state property and people are getting in and out of that vehicle, sometimes with cuts, because, who knows, if they've been hunted down by the police or whatever the case, but people are getting into that vehicle who may have cuts on their persons. They may have open wounds. And so the fact that there is activity going on, which could pose a health risk to people getting in and out. A blue light needs to be ran over those seats. We need to know what's going on in that vehicle.
Mm-hmm. You speaking facts.
Oh, he needs to go to jail.
You back on track, E. You back on track. Hallelujah.
He was never off track, okay?
Lord have mercy.
Heal the world.
Oh my God.
But no, you speaking facts. You're right.
But you know what? This also makes me feel like that the police officers are running sex trade on the streets of whatever state this is. Or
yeah.
State.
Yeah. So Sebastian, if you speak Spanish, what was the guy saying?
It was really like muffled a little bit because they were saying like, look. Oh, and then they said, oh my God. And then they were just like, look. And it was very like muffled a little bit. That's the issue.
Yeah. Shan, what are your thoughts? He was getting jiggy with it while on duty.
I think you shouldn't mix, duty with pleasure.
Right.
And I agree with what Royer said.
Period. Boom. Okay. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, you know how I feel about law enforcement. Okay. So this is reminding me of Sheriff Cootie, the one with Judge Hatchett, when she was at the event. He's grabbing her and he don't have no issues.
Right.
Part of that video, I don't know if that's a man or a woman coming towards the camera in the end, but he's saying, oh my God, he's an animal. Look at him. What's he doing? He's an animal. Okay. So I'm going to support E here. I don't know if this woman was actually complicit or if she was feeling coerced into getting into this vehicle. I'm disgusted. I agree with Royer. They need to go in there and clean that place up. They need to get people fired or shifted around, put him on a different route or something. I'm shocked and I'm disgusted. And the fact that everyone seemed to be speaking Spanish, maybe this gentleman, I hate calling him maybe this predator, remember there are predators everywhere, is taking advantage of everyone in that community. Maybe this is what he does all day long. Is just pull up and get what he wants for free in the back seat or the front seat or in your apartment or in the park. And they're all afraid to call him out, but somebody decided to record it.
Yeah. And see, he could be letting them, and I'm saying him, he's the one that got caught on video because there was a second video with another car. So they know to go there, and this is done on a regular basis. So they probably allow these women to work.
Pardon me. Sebastian said he was not a predator. This was consensual, but unethical in work. How do you know that, Sebastian?
Because this was two consenting adults.
How do you know? I need to know the details. Where did you see the transcript?
Well, hold on, guys, because I got to let other people in the conversation. But here's the thing. I'm thinking that they could be working ladies. And because they do these things with the cops agree not to arrest them when they're doing their work with other people.
Sounds like blackmail to me. That's
right. Exactly. Right. So but also he was usually when things like this happen, they don't get so personal, but I'm taking my reference from Pretty Woman, how she would never kiss him on the lips because she said that was too personal. He was kissing this lady. Like this is it's a lot going on. Police officers are right up there with DJs, promoters, and youth pastors for being for being your friendly neighborhood thoughts. Child, listen, Sebastian, so you said he was suspended. And let me just say
he has been suspended by the Prince George's County Police Department.
Amen.
They're opening up an investigation on this situation, which I agree. That's what they should do. But
Right.
what I'm thinking is, I do not think he is a predator for being involved with the woman. I do believe that it's disgusting that children were around. That was exposed near children, and that's what he should be charged for. If the woman is a prostitute,
He got a lot of things to be charged with, though, Sebastian, because he's an officer of the law. And like he reminded me, because I know some people that got in trouble for this, and they was couples. It's indecent exposure.
That's what I said. He should be charged for that.
Yeah, but more than that, right? Because he's on duty.
Yes,
This is taxpayer dollars, and he had on his uniform. What if that weapon would have went off by accident because he got excited when they was doing whatever it is that they was doing in the back of that car? But like he said, now you exposing, potential people that get arrested, going in that back seat and Shabbat. And let me just answer. I gotta answer Claire real quick. Claire, backstage, we are usually backstage about 15 minutes at the very least of my shows before we even go live to y'all. And we all chat and we all love each other. And listen, we give it to Sebastian, but don't worry, he gives it back. He all right though. We want you to know, because I know you concerned about him, Claire. Don't let it get on your nerves. Sebastian is all
Claire
right.
protects me in these chats.
Yeah, I know she does. But sometimes we gotta put Sebastian up against the wall and shake him up a couple times, because he just loses his mind. Like a train literally hit him, and we gotta wake him up. Okay.
So it's also an infraction. This is a misuse of state property,
Yes,
because
it
that
is.
vehicle is state property.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Talk to the people, E.
Yep. Yeah. That's why Sasuke, we have to put Sebastian in the corner sometime, because he be losing his mind.
One thing about it, we all respect and enjoy each other commentary.
Yeah.
We throw fun shade, but it's never nothing personal. It's never
Yeah.
no hate.
Right.
We enjoy talking, disagreeing.
We gotta talk our stuff.
Right.
And we gotta bring the
love
people back. But
Sebastian.
I just want to clear, because Claire's always here. I just want her to know that don't Sebastian can hold his own. He want to come up here and talk that nonsense, we gonna beat him down. Emmanuel, you're up. If you're there.
Yes. I don't like this because it's nasty, and he probably has a wife. He's probably cheating on her. With that being said, I am against any form of suspension or termination, because just like I was with TJ Holmes and Amy, I don't think that's a reason to fire someone from their livelihood. He didn't hurt anyone, so don't fire him.
Whoa. I thought you was winning there for a minute. He's hurting the taxpayers' dollars. If there was hear me out, Emmanuel. If there was a male that was coming to solicit those same services from this chick, and that male got caught, both the male and this female would get arrested. Why is he any different? Because this is not his girlfriend. Let's be clear. This is this man's girlfriend. If it was his girlfriend, she could have simply met him after work, met him at his house, or whatever the case may be. He was doing something very sinister. So, and if another male was caught in the same park, and there's kids within a 500 feet radius, and they're in the car doing it, they would have got arrested. And that man would have been probably arrested for solicitation of services. I put it that way. Okay. So, and then again, just like we say with teachers or with employers, they have the authority over that particular individual because of the position that they're in. He is, although I'm not saying this woman doesn't look like to me, like there was a forcing of a situation, because I felt like she was familiar with him. Like they do this often. The way they kissed, the way he had his arm around her, it wasn't like, okay, I'm here for my regular service. I felt like, yeah, I'm here for my regular service, but I feel something for you. I think he's starting to feel a little something for this lady, because he was too endearing. The kiss with the hands on the head, the arm around her, even when they was walking just 2 feet to the car, it was like they got a lot of familiarity with each other. And then she knew, let me open, the
door.
the door or whatever the case may be. I totally feel like he's taking advantage. Now, there's a lot of times when people will get they're in a messed up situation, but it becomes familiar to them, but that doesn't negate the fact that it's still messed up. If that's making sense to anybody.
You're right. It might definitely be something that's messy and
Stockholm
affair or whatever,
syndrome.
but
Yeah.
that's private. Okay, that has nothing to do with his job, and he might have been on his lunch break.
You still though have a company property. So a lot of jobs will even tell you if you're working and you got the job ID badge around you. One job I used to work at, they said if you're gonna walk the street, you need to put the ID badge in you, turn it around or something. And even like when we used to leave the hospital, they was like, take your badge off or whatever the case may be, because they don't want your outside activities connected to them indirectly, because you're either still in uniform or you have their badge on.
Well, we don't know what they did in the car, so maybe they all were just hugging and kissing.
We can just about infer.
They played card games. Like
You can't infer things. You have to only present facts.
that is true.
Okay, so I'm coming to, in my opinion, am I up to you?
Yeah, you up to me.
Okay, go ahead, babe. You're on.
So I guess this the reason why we can't get these abusive men off the street, because the people that's supposed to be protecting these women is too busy getting their rocks off.
You better talk about it. You better talk about it. You better talk about it. Thank you, in my opinion. Let me just, because I mean, I'm not playing this whole video again, but let me just show you something real quick. And then Denzel, I'm coming to you. Okay. Because somebody said they need to see. This please check out, look, go close to this car. The way these two are hugging, you see that hug? You see that hug?
Mira.
You see her hands?
No, yo lo acordaba, lo voy a mandar.
This is serious stuff here. You see how he got his arm around her?
Para el carro, mira, para atrás la lleva, mira, ve.
Okay. Let me see. Caitlin, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Diva. Do you know if the cop is married? I don't know, but I'm have a feeling he is. I'm just have a feeling he is.
He seems young.
Huh? The cop seems young. Yeah, but he could be married. But he like him. He like that chick though. Denzel, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to say this. We might, disagree. Agree to disagree. But listen, we family here. Love is here. So when we done, we don't catch feelings. We good after the show is done.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because that is a good question. Like, is he married? Because he might be married allegedly. I don't know, but he was doing something he had no business doing. Mm-hmm. Okay, first of all, it was children around. Second of all, you using your patrol car to be patrolling, patrolling like he was patrolling. All right, he was doing something he had no business. Now they got, because I wonder, do they rotate different, different patrol cars? Because if they don't, if they do, they need to, clean that patrol car, because God only knows what they were doing in there and what other mess was going on is on the seats. Even thinking about it's grossing me out. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, like, just wait. Just wait. Why you rushing? You can't wait. That's your job. Like, you using, people's tax dollars and you playing around, and you supposed to protect and serve. He, in my book, he needs to be fired. And yeah, that's disgusting, Diva, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. So okay, I hope you're not fighting in the chat. I can't keep up with the comments
Y'all
there,
need
but
to
I hope
stop fighting
everybody's
in this chat. This chat is getting too outrageous. We acknowledge all views here, and I know I have the people who love me who are defending me in the comments, and I love y'all too. Y'all are special in my heart. But
All right.
y'all need to chill. Y'all need to
Okay, yeah,
chill.
it's all good, y'all. It's all good. Okay, so let's end this train right here. To the cop, listen, do your business somewhere else. That's why I'm feeling like he's married. Because he liked this girl a lot. Whatever she doing, he like it. He hugging her, kissing her, treating her well in the backseat or whatever. Anywho, we're gonna move on. We're closing out with this last story. I do appreciate y'all because we are doing good with time. This last story, it kind of breaks my heart and it's sad. And we're gonna give our quick opinion on this and move on. Divorces aren't easy, breakups aren't easy, and the person you marry is rarely ever the person you divorce. But I will always say this: I don't care what you do, keep the kids out your mess. Somebody has to take the hit for the kids. Keep your kids out the mess. So Ralph Pittman from Real Housewives of Atlanta, he said that Drew did a whole scam. He said it was a sick money grab that Drew wanted him to adopt JoJo, because she's asking for child support for all 3 children. He's a mess. I'm gonna read this article real quick, and we're gonna go around and talk about it. Let me share screen. So RHOA star Ralph Pittman claims ex Drew Sidora wanted him to adopt her son for a sick money grab. The real-life drama between Drew Sidora and her estranged husband Ralph Pittman continues to heat up amid their messy divorce, with the latter accusing the Real Housewives of Atlanta star of concocting an elaborate plot for him to adopt her son in hopes of cashing in, Radar Online has learned. First of all, elaborate plot? He don't have that much money.
What's his net?
I think when I looked, it was $2 million. As this outlet reported, Pittman filed for divorce in February after 8 years of marriage, and while they managed to get the documents sealed, the two continue to hurl accusations against each other in the public eye, and apparently nothing is off limits, including the kids. After the RHOA star clapped back at Pittman's fake cousin for insinuating she wanted Ralph to adopt her son Josiah, aka JoJo, so that she could spend more time with women, Sidora was accused of cheating on Pittman with retired WNBA star Ty Young. I must always protect and stand for children against this type of evil. I gave him the opportunity to shut his unverifiable fake cousin down for her disgusting comments made concerning my son. However, he refused to do so, and it breaks my heart. She wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, Monday. She meant to be nasty, rude, making comments, and dragging my child into this. Kids are always off limits. That's it. That's all. We're done. I do agree with her, right? Pittman shot back, bringing JoJo, who Sidora had from a previous relationship, into the feud. It's time to speak truth. So let's be real. You expect me to pay child support when he has a father that wants to play an active role in his life, but you won't let him. Your adoption request was only a money grab and control. Since the age of 3, I stepped up to fill the gap as a man and unconditionally provided my heart without expectations, he responded. Since 3, you stepped up, right? You said unconditional. No, but it was conditional. It was conditional, dependent upon your relationship with Drew. And as soon as you and Drew fell out, you fell out with JoJo. Why would you bring his name into this? You wrote a whole book saying the step in parenting, as if you was a good stepfather. What good stepfather, bonus dad, or whatever you want to call him, will bring the kid into this situation? What elaborate plan did you have to adopt JoJo? He's a mess. I think it's disgusting. You know what? Dustin, what are your thoughts? Dustin, are you there? Okay, I'm gonna move to Sebastian.
Okay, I hope you guys are all hearing me loud and clear. Okay. So this situation of Ralph and Drew, Ralph has been Josiah's father ever since the age of 2. And I believe Josiah is probably 10 or 11 or 12, around those 3 ages that I just gave.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been in his life for more over than a decade. A couple seasons ago, I believe it was Drew's first season, we were introduced to Josiah's father, who was out of prison, out of incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
And he said how he wants to do better and how he wants to be involved in Josiah's life. And Drew really didn't like that. Drew kept on referring to Josiah's biological father as old dad and referred to Ralph as new dad to Josiah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually Ralph who was pushing the kid to get to know your biological father, get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
But yet Drew was trying to be against it. That is what I saw on that television. So there we have it again, folks.
Oh.
The man served his time,
Mm-hmm.
is back into society,
Mm-hmm.
and Ralph served as the step parent to Josiah.
Mm-hmm.
And some people could name the foster parent, basically. In this situation, he could practically be the foster parent because the father was not in the picture at this moment during these times. He chose not to adopt Josiah out of respect for Josiah's father, who asked him not to. The biological father asked not to adopt Josiah. I believe Josiah has, I don't know if I'm not sure, but I believe Josiah's last name is his biological father's last name. So therefore, the paternal rights were already established.
No,
So
Josiah's last name is Pittman.
Oh, it's Pittman?
Yes, it is.
Okay, but still paternal, he can't adopt Josiah unless the father were to relinquish his.
He relinquished his rights.
I'm not aware of that because I don't believe that that's true.
Do a Google search.
Okay.
Whoa. Come on now.
That's probably what Drew's pushing out there, but Drew puts a lot of lies out in these streets, so I have to do some research on that. But in my opinion, I saw that this is what I saw on TV. Josiah's father wants to be in Josiah's life. Drew wants to push Josiah's father out of his life, which is why she constantly negates his existence by pushing the kid the narrative that your father is your old dad. At the end of the day, Josiah's father, yes, he did not. He committed a crime. He served his time, but still, he is the father of that child. That is the father of your child, Drew. And you try to make it seem as Ralph is the father of your child. Ralph is not the father of your child. He raised the child in the absence of the father out of respect for you, who was his wife at that time, who's still his wife. And I believe that he still loves your child 100%, but you cannot have the audacity to ask for child support when he is not the father of your child. In my opinion, that is the most dumbest thing I can ever hear of. This is why I believe that we need
Sebastian. First of all,
yes.
Main Street, thank you so much for becoming a member. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. So let me just say this, Sebastian, right? Here's the thing. You said you've been in this child's life since he was 3. You said you stepped in and you stepped up. So you said unconditional love. You wrote a whole book based on JoJo's life.
He wrote a whole book on step parenting.
So who was he step parent to? Only
he
JoJo?
Was step parenting JoJo.
Okay, boom. So you wrote a book on JoJo's life. And you want to talk money grab? Well, that's the biggest money grab right there.
No, because that's his experience. He was a stepfather.
Hold on. You wrote a whole book about JoJo, but now you like, don't be coming at me for child support for JoJo. Well, don't write a book about JoJo.
No, that was his experience as a stepfather, and you are allowed to write books about
He
your
couldn't be a
lifestyle and
stepfather if she
etc.
didn't
That
have a
is exactly what
child.
memoirs are.
Well, you
You
know
write
what,
books about
and
your
you
lifestyle
know
and
what
what
though,
you do.
Sebastian? Then you know what though, Sebastian? To pay the child support.
Okay, all he has to do is the earnings he makes from the book. If he wants to do it, he doesn't have to. If he wants to, he can put that and set it in a separate fund for Josiah. It does not have to go to Drew's hands, exactly to her hands. Because at the end of the day, one thing we do know, and this is the truth, Drew lies like it's nothing for her. A lie comes out of Drew's mouth as she does breathes.
You know
As she
what though?
breathes, she
You
lies.
wanna know what though? If you a real stepdad, you a real man, you a real stand-up guy. You wanna know who's doing this darn thing? What's her name? Eva and her ex-husband. When I see pictures of him with the kids now, guess who's right there by his side too? Little mama.
Well, Eva's baby daddy, Kevin McCall, is a
I
crazy
don't
man.
care
That's
about
different, though.
I don't care about the baby
That's a different
daddy being crazy
situation.
or
He's a
not.
crazy
No,
man who is out of
but
control.
Sebastian, here's the thing. You've been in this child life since 3. So now that it's a wrap, you should still be in this child life. That's not going to stop him from getting into a relationship with his biological dad, because I don't even believe the biological dad lives in the same state. So when you come pick up your other 2 kids and you taking them swimming or to McDonald's or to get some ice cream or to get a donut or whatever the case may be, you can take JoJo because you wrote a whole book on being a step parent. If you had unconditional love for JoJo, you wouldn't be worried about what's going to happen between JoJo and his biological dad. You come and get the kids. JoJo, pack your bag. You coming with us too for the week, as long as Drew is okay with that.
Can I give a closing statement, please?
Yeah, give your closing statement because you're about to get
Oh,
fired.
damn. Okay, Neva. Okay.
Not the
Okay.
kids, Sebastian. Not
My
the
closing
kids.
statement. I'm always not for the kid. I'm always not for the kids. I do not like when people bring the kids into the situation.
Mhm.
But my closing statement is this. This is exactly why a lot of men are very reluctant to be with women who have children already. Because one thing is, when they are getting divorced, they've already had a bond with the child. They have no rights over the child. And at the end of the day, if they don't take care of the child, the court of the public opinion, like us who are on YouTube right now, will bash them for not taking care of a child that is not biologically theirs. This is exactly why a lot of women who do have kids who are single mothers do end up not getting any man. And it's sad, but it's the truth. And I wish, and the men who do go there are completely great men. God bless them all. Men who do take women who have children already and raise those kids with that woman, they're great. 100%. They're top tier. But this is a fact. He is not the biological father of Josiah. He's not. He's not
I've
the
seen
biological father
step
of
parent be
Josiah.
better parents than biological parents.
He was a
So
better
get
step
that
parent.
out
He
the
was a
way.
good step
The
parent. He
whole
raised that kid.
Okay,
When
so
Drew was out all in these
biological.
streets doing these tours, who was
the
there with
time is up.
Josiah?
I got it. You about to
Who
push
was there with
over
Josiah
time.
when Drew was out in these streets working all these damn times? Who was with
She
Josiah?
gotta work.
Okay, I got
Wait a
hold on.
minute.
Emmanuel,
Security.
because you get security. Emmanuel, go ahead, please. Because
Oh,
today
I'm
is
next?
killing me. Today is killing me.
Oh,
Go ahead,
I
Emmanuel.
didn't realize that things shifted. Okay. So, good evening. I'm here defending Ralph Pittman Jr.,
Amen.
who has had to deal.
Oh my god.
Excuse me. Who has had to deal with his wife, known as Drew Sidora. Ralph is a victim
Oh my.
of Drew Sidora's lies and her gaslighting.
Mhm.
A woman can be just as manipulative as y'all think a man is. In her 3 years of being a cast member of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, we, the public, have witnessed her lies and her slandering, which she has no problem involving her husband in. Ralph has given Drew a storyline for all these years. The whole assertion that Ralph adopted Drew's son when Drew's son has a father who will not relinquish his parental rights, which is why Ralph didn't adopt him, is gross. And Drew continues to mislead viewers on this. Drew is the one who brought this child into the show. She's the one who
Diva,
Make it
check
a
your email.
conversation.
I got it, boo.
He has said nothing wrong, and he has a right to stand up against the woman who has been degrading him ever since she came on camera and on Twitter. She's the one who started, and not to mention she cheated on him, allegedly. So justice for Ralph Pittman.
Ooh, justice.
Yes.
Thank you, Manuel.
Can I say something? Can I go? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Los ganamos.
My opinion on this is I agree with what Diva's saying on here, because who has raised that kid since she's been on the show? So he does need to do something, and he does need to pay her child support. I think that he's been help her raising that kid, so he's been doing all the work. So everybody's saying about, well, Ralph Pittman do this, Ralph Pittman, he needs to pay her child support. My opinion.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Point blank, period. That's all I'm gonna say, and I think he needs to pay her.
Mm-hmm. Whoo, child. Okay, listen, I'm not going to read this whole article, and I'm about to come to you in my opinion, but it does say in this article, this was from 2021, and I don't know how rights go when someone's in prison, okay? So Juicador's baby daddy went to prison for smuggling $4 million. That's a lot, people, worth of the booger sugar, okay? So she, in this article, okay, it says that she and Ralph made strong efforts to help JoJo feel at home. And in 2015, Ralph successfully became his adopted father.
So that whole storyline about the adopting of the child was a whole lie that Drew concocted? Damn,
Well,
this shows how Drew lies.
They both probably concocted it together, because I don't think he would be screaming about child support now if he didn't adopt him.
Well, actually, Josiah's name is Josiah Jordan, so I don't think he was adopted. So no.
His last name is Pittman.
All right, so go ahead. Somebody said, is it a credible article? You know what? A lot of these articles, I'm gonna be honest with you. Who knows? Who knows? But that's what that particular article said. I don't want to stay, because the train is rocking. You ain't lying. Somebody said the train is rocking tonight, and you ain't lying. And I want to cut this thing short in a decent time. In my opinion, your thoughts on this whole situation?
Okay, let me tell you something. First of all, that man is not a man, okay? He's a little boy trying to play man. Let me tell you something. Everything that he's spewing out now is the same thing that Courtney has spewed out on RHOA all season long. And now he's coming out because he coached her. Now, keep in mind, this girl stayed in Tampa, Florida. Where did he disappear to? Tampa, Florida. And now this girl is on the show. It's not a coincidence, people. Put the two together. And first of all, Josiah's father, real father, biological father, wanted to be in the picture. He had ample chances before he went to prison, because he did not do that. He did not have a relationship with Josiah before he went to prison. He only came out of prison and talking about he was a changed man. And we all know how these black men love to say they changed. They ain't changed nothing but they draws, okay? I don't buy it whatsoever. All of them are full of it.
Who is Josiah Pittman, aka JoJo? Josiah Pittman, aka JoJo, is Juicador's son, who she had from her first marriage with the famous hip hop producer and Josiah's biological dad, Ricky. So I feel like
you don't have to adopt someone to change your child's last name. Did you know that?
Well, guess what though? Ralph is
Y'all kept saying his last name was Jordan. I just said his last name is Pittman.
Yeah.
Because there is an article with his last name, Jordan.
All right. We're going to move forward. Tomatoes. He may have to pay child support. E, your thoughts on this situation?
Come on, E.
E, deliver this train. E, deliver.
So for me, listen, when somebody, I've said it numerous times, Ralph did not like the way Drew handled that situation with Josiah's father. I do think if Josiah's father was bringing in that much money in that activity. $4 million is a lot of product. And it's easy for me to believe why somebody who is in that line of work doing that much would not have time for their child. And so when you have to sit down for a few years, you get to reassess your priorities. Is that right? No. But when the money dries up and all you can do is stare at four walls, you get an opportunity to think about where you went wrong and how you messed up your son's life potentially. Last thing, Ralph being in Josiah's life for 10 years doesn't mean Ralph is Josiah's father. I don't care if they did live together all that time. He's not Josiah's father. Ralph does not want to be Josiah's father. Therefore, he is not his father. That's period. If a man is going through this much effort and mudslinging to distance himself from your son that you brought from a previous relationship, listen, if I was Drew, I would let him have it. I would let him have it because I would not put my son through this much back and forth publicly just to hold on to a name that a man doesn't want you to have anyway. Listen, I would have been able to reason with Drew more if she would have said, pull all those damn books and give me the proceeds that you've made off of that thus far. Because you've used my son's likeness and image for profit. So get the money from the book or have this book removed from publication. I would have been able to get on board with that. The difference between Ralph and Eva's ex and even Russell Wilson is you can tell that Eva's ex loves Marley. You can tell that Russell Wilson loves baby Future Wilson. That's his name. His name is Future Wilson. Also, just because the kid's name is updated on Google to Josiah Pittman, that doesn't mean that his name is it's Pittman. If you ask me, and I know I need to see some paperwork on that because we know Drew and Ralph have tons of aliases attached. And so because we know that they're quick to throw a name out there, just because it's on Google, it doesn't mean that's his legal name. And I need to see the school ID. Unless there is a court order stating that the name change took place, I cannot believe it because if your son's last name was changed to Pittman after Ralph told you he did not want to go forward with the name change, to me, that would suggest that there was a plan to push this through for whatever the reason. Ralph is saying a money grab, but if you change that baby's name to Pittman after Ralph told you he did not want to take on that responsibility for whatever his reason was, and you did it anyway, I'm looking at Drew with a look of incredulity. If his name is Pittman, change it back to Jordan, and he can call his real daddy, because Ralph doesn't deserve to be able to bounce this boy around like he bounces Drew around like a ping pong. That Josiah does not deserve that.
That I do agree on, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you. In this situation, because for my kid, I would be protecting my kid. I wouldn't even have asked him for child support for Josiah because he's into the foolery and the games, and he clearly doesn't care about Josiah on that level, no matter what comes out of his mouth, because he didn't say I'm not paying child support for any of the kids. It's like he said, what was his exact words? It's a sick money grab.
He said it's a sick money grab, and that though he loves all his children and he has given them everything that they needed, pretty much it's not his job nor responsibility to take care of Josiah, even though he has a father that's willing and able. But the issue for me was you told us that you loved all your children, all of them. Those were your words. You got up on the TV and talked about writing a book on step parenting as if you was father of the year and you love this boy so much. But then you can get on Twitter, now known as X, and bring up this young boy's name knowing that children are off limits, point blank, period.
Don't forget about he wrote the book without telling Drew.
Well, this is the child that you have been with since he was 3 years old. You told us that you took on that responsibility as a man. Well, where's your manhood now?
He has the right
You was
to
such a man
relinquish that
then.
responsibility. That's
Why
not his
can't you
child
be the same
biologically.
man now that you would? But why? So then, what was the point of even being in this boy's life for all of these years if you was gonna turn around and slap the boy in the face and be like,
He was married to his mother.
Because he was married to the mother. Now they're divorcing.
See, you
but
know what?
you
You
married
can't
this
force a
woman
child on
knowing
somebody
that
who's
she
not
already
theirs.
had a child. This was something that you preconceived.
That part, boy,
And then
yeah.
the other issue for me with Sebastian and Emmanuel, are we not gonna sit up here and act like the whole first season that Drew was on here, that Ralph wasn't missing half of the season, that he just wasn't going off and doing what he wanted to do as a married man? But now that Drew is returning the same favor that he gave, now it's a problem.
Ralph did do that. That was wrong 100%, but that does
They're
not
both
does not
wrong.
negate the fact that he
But
did
that's
take
not
care
what
of his
y'all said.
child.
Y'all was saying that Drew was wrong. So if we're gonna call it like it is across the board.
Drew has been wrong. Drew has been created so many lies. She said that LaToya slept with Prophet
So
Lot.
hold
He
on,
said
guys.
things
Hold
that
on.
She
I don't
lies.
want y'all two going back and forth because I want to close out soon, and I still got other people to get in on this particular conversation. I'm gonna let you finish your thought process, Warrior, but I just want to say this: when you say you're giving somebody unconditional love, their mother could pass away, you could leave their mother, but if you really are truly giving unconditional love, that child should still be able to come into your life, and you will still allow them to call you daddy, and you will still treat them like they are your very own. If you're truly giving unconditional love. My girlfriend was about to marry this guy that had not one, not two, but 3 children when they met. To this very day, and they never ended up getting married. To this very day, the ex that he had the 3 kids with and her 3 kids, they still talk to my girlfriend, and they're all still good. That is unconditional love. Not, oh, now that I don't speak to your daddy, all those love yous, I love you, all those birthday cards, all that, don't call me no more, whatever. That's conditional love based on whether or not I'm good with your parent that I'm with. So you can't say you giving unconditional love, but then when something changes in the situation, you're like, I'm done with you. You're full of crap. You're messy. And my thing is, you know that if you get with somebody that already have kids, it's a package deal. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Shan,
Tell them, Diesel.
Go ahead, Shan.
Damn, I had so many good points, but slips away. But my point is, I don't care about biological, not biological, because I've known people who are better fathers than biological fathers, right? And so when your relationship ends, you don't just end the relationship with the child, right? And one more thing, does Drew even need his money? Like, come on. Her sister said she's been acting since she's 9 years old. Like, I still trying to figure out what Ralph does. He does tech or whatever, but I don't think Drew is that desperate for money, one. And did y'all ever think maybe Drew thought he was a better parent than the biological father? Or do you think maybe she just thought Ralph would be a better dad to him? So maybe that's why she was pushing it. You know what I mean? Maybe she didn't want the biological father because she was thinking, okay, my husband, he'll be a better role model. I don't know. I'm not in Drew's head. But maybe that could be it too. Ralph should be ashamed of himself. He's gutter low. Do not bring up the kids. If you love the kids so much, no matter what happened between you and Drew, you'll be like, I'm going to be in your life. Me and your mom didn't work out, but you're still my son. That's what you do.
Yes.
So the whole biological, non-biological, I don't care about that. Because even you have friends that are like your family. That's not even biologically a family. So it's like,
come on, kid.
that's not his father. That's not his father. He said he was his father when he got involved with Drew. I don't have any kids, but if I have a kid, it's going to be we a package.
That part.
Period.
So Ralph is just despicable. I'm happy Drew's getting away from him. I'm never happy to see anybody get divorced, But I just don't see any positive in being with this man as far as what I see on TV. And y'all can say Drew lying, but that doesn't mean she's lying about everything.
That part. Can I tell you something too? One of my very good friends that considers my son his godson. We never sleep together. We're friends. He loved my son like it's his child.
You see?
And constantly making sure my son is good. So for you to have married someone, you shared a bed with them, you was in this kid's life and saw him every day, and you want to talk about, Lorraine saying, Diva, Ralph never said he would not be there for JoJo. He said he shouldn't be forced by the courts. Well, she's asking for child support. If you feel you shouldn't be forced by the courts, then you should say, I shouldn't be forced by the courts to take care of none of my kids. You pointed out JoJo.
Because that's legally not his child.
That's some BS. And like Nene said, I said what I said.
Well, what you said was some
BS. Because you're not loving that kid unconditionally. Why are you taking his name out your mouth? Here's the other problem I have, right? Y'all made sure those court documents were sealed, but you're going to go on Twitter and you're going to name JoJo. And you're going to say that his mother did a sick money grab. Bro, you don't have Kevin Costner's money. You don't have Diddy money. A sick money grab? Listen, if the courts say that you got to give $1,000 per kid, somebody's going to go that deep for $1,000 a month. Go sit down somewhere and stop. A sick money grab. See, the problem is a lot of men have this idea in their head about child support. You signed up for this, my brother, so now pay the money. And like I said, at the end of the day, when they do discovery of their finances, I highly doubt that Ralph, the gavel's going to be hit and he's going to have to pay all this money in child support.
Read Gwen's
because if he could, he would move out of the household and let Drew have the house and pay the bills.
Whoa.
It's his house.
Whoa.
On there. Why should I leave my house?
That part.
It's not his house. He will get Drew money.
In the morning.
Hold on, guys. Let me let Felicia in the building. Felicia, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so you all know I don't watch this show, and if folks was listening a couple of weeks back, my children got 88 cents a day, and that's what the judge ruled, 88 cents a day. So good luck to Drew and her 3 children, because from what I'm reading and hearing, this man ain't got no money. He don't have this. He don't have that. And love and protect your children. That's really what it's about. Love and protect your children. That's it for me. And thank you for this messy men's day. It was really messy. These men were just a mess.
They messy just like the females, messier than the females. Men are way messier than females.
Heal the world. I wish we could play music because I would end with that song. Denzel, what are your thoughts?
So, Diva, how long he been in JoJo's? How long he been JoJo's stepson?
That part forever. He was
forever.
Listen, that
10 years.
He was 10 years.
10 years.
He was 3.
Look,
listen. Start forming memories.
Yeah.
Woo.
Ooh, good one. That part.
Come on now, boy.
And the time his mother was manipulating him to think that he does not have a dad and called his father his real father.
Okay, let me
speak. Let Denzel speak. Go ahead, Denzel.
Well, okay. So first of all, Ralph, what Ralph needs to understand is that he been JoJo's stepson since he was 3. So that's his son. Mm-hmm. That's his son. Mm-hmm. Now he had a nerve to say that it's a sick money grab, a sick money grab. Mm. Like, didn't he make a profit of that movie and, of that book, and he was talking about his son. Did he? So what is he talking about? And yet again, he's gaslighting Drew again. He's gaslighting Drew again, like he's gaslighting her again and again. He's gaslighting the audience. He's gaslighting his children. He's a gaslighter. And do Drew lie? Yes, she does. But you know what? This right here, this is not her fault. This is not her fault, because, like I said, yet again, he want to blame it on her, but he's not up to the fact that he's the problem. He messed up their marriage. Okay, and then and then he want to side with his so-called fake cousin. And you know what? Allegedly, I do believe him and her got something going on. Allegedly, I really do, because it's coming off that way. And I'm praying for Drew and their children. And Diva, Ralph, he's a fool. He's a fool because he had a beautiful black woman, and he had a great family, and his, allegedly he was cheating. He messed it up. He had a good black. He had a good wife. He had a beautiful black woman, and he going around disrespecting her, gaslighting her, and it's like, you know what? Like I said, karma don't miss no address. He's gonna get his karma. And when it does, it's not gonna be good. He's trash. He's a punk, and he's a gaslighter, and he can't be trusted. And I hope that Drew finds somebody else that is a real man. Okay, and I'm praying for her and their children. And I know you got you don't have enough time, but like I said, I'm praying for Drew and her kids. And he needs to pay child support. And he, like I said, he's trash and he can't be trusted. And I'm praying for Drew and their children. That's it, Diva. And that's all. I'm sorry for the time.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So Sheila said, I don't believe Ralph should pay for Josiah because he's not his biological child. But let me just say this. A lot of people feel this way. I personally do not. Let me say this. Shout out to all the men out there who are willing to raise a kid that they didn't biologically make.
Come on, Diesel.
And who are okay with sharing their money, making sure that kid is good. Raising a kid that they didn't make and healing a heart that they didn't break. Shout out to those men, because we need them.
We sure do.
Exactly.
100%. I agree with that 100%.
And there are a lot of children that have benefited financially, mentally, and physically, or for someone that was not their biological parent. Okay? And listen, it's no different than when people adopt children, that from like a shelter or a home or whatever. It's like, oh, when they done with them, they should get nothing because they're not the biological parent. I just feel that, you know what?
No. There's a difference between adopting a child and being a step parent to a child. That is two different things. There are two different legal situations there.
Sebastian, I'm gonna need you to grow up. I'm gonna need you to grow up because let me tell you something. First of all, if you marry a woman with kids, you know she had them kids before you put that ring on her finger. So you knew you had a package deal right then and
Yes,
there.
it's my
Don't you get
responsibility
with
while
no
we're married,
doggone
not
woman
when
if
we're
you
out.
ain't man enough to take care of them kids. Because
It is
baby, I'm gonna
my
tell you
title
right here and
after
now,
when the
a
marriage is
woman
great.
can do
Yes,
fine
it's my
without
title.
you. Okay, she don't need your peen or your money to survive. But if you get in a relationship with a woman with some kids, then you better be ready to lay the smack down and take care of those kids like a real man should.
During
Okay,
the marriage.
exactly, opinion.
During the
Hold on
marriage,
one
not
second, guys. Hold
afterwards.
on one second, guys. Hold on one second. Handy D, thank you. No, you're fine. It's off topic because I know everybody's very concerned. So, you said, has any progress been made with getting Denzel's car back? I want to say this. It's sad and it's unfortunate. We may not be able to get the car back. We're still working on some things. It's very sad. The world is a mess and they're evil, but you know, we're working on some things with Denzel, and we'll keep y'all posted.
Right.
Give us some time because you know a lot has to be worked through. But we do appreciate y'all for asking.
Just
So
just pray for me, y'all. Thank y'all for your concern. I appreciate it. Just pray for me.
Always.
okay, so hold on one second, guys. I can't play much of this because you know you could get dinged from playing other people's videos. I just want to play a smidgen of this, okay? And then I'm gonna close out because this is a very heated conversation.
Brunswick, New Jersey. And so I grew up, which New Brunswick is, you can say, smaller city located right where Rutgers University is. So I ended up going to Rutgers University, graduating from there. Sorry, my son just burst into the room.
No, that's all good. It's dear fathers, man. So it's all
You know it. So so my upbringing was that my father and my mother, they ended up getting married at a young age. My father was around in a relationship until I was about probably like 4 years old or so, and then they ended up splitting up. I have some different memories from back then, but at that point in time, after everything was about how my father would come in, step in every now and then, but so. One thing about this platform that I do love is like my story is also, probably similar to a lot of other people's. My father would jump in and jump out. I was a daddy's kid though. I wanted my dad around. I was that kid that would be sitting on the side of the road waiting for my dad to come because my mom told me that he was going to be coming, and I'm looking at every car. All right, well, that's not him. That's not him. But maybe he changed cars, making up different reasons. My mom would call me into the house telling me he's not coming, And so I made a ton of excuses because my dad was my hero, right? My dad was my hero, but my dad was not present in my life. And so it made it challenging because my upbringing, I had to become the man of my house at a very early age. And I had to learn things, and really I learned from my friends, the things
I will put this in the link. I wanted to play those first few minutes because you know firsthand what it's like to have an absentee dad.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to play in this JoJo's face.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it ironic? He said at 4 they split. JoJo was 3 when he met Drew. Mm. I can go on and on and on with the psychological piece of this, but I want to say this. When you know how painful that thing could be, why play with that thing? And mention JoJo's name. So he's old enough to be a part of social media. And I keep going back to the words you use. It was a sick money grab. A sick money grab.
He's not his. He is not his.
Like Sebastian,
the adoption was
here's the thing. We got to close this out, Sebastian. Come on, Leo. Wrong road. Wrong
Exactly.
road. Let me say this, Sebastian. You keep saying he is not his. Let me just X this one piece out for 1 second. There are some children that unfortunately their biological parents die. And somebody else has to step in. So you step in and you get to say when you want to, when it comes to money, well, you ain't my real kid anyway.
No, that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is this.
How about this? No, Sebastian, I'm going to close out with this. I don't care what he's saying. I'm telling you for me, when it comes to the kids, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And
He
that's a
raised that
point
child out of
blank
the
in the
kindness of his
period.
heart.
When
That child is
you,
not
when
biologically nor legally his.
Sebastian,
That you didn't do it out of the kindness of your heart if you're just gonna walk away
that
from
part.
this child whenever you
He
feel
is
like you're
not
ready to walk
he
away.
does
Okay.
not have rights
That's
over
what
this
that's
child.
But
Sebastian,
he,
please.
okay,
Drew's not the mother?
Sebastian was saying something so derogatory about his mom. Okay,
His mother should have never raised him to think that this is your new dad. He does not have a new dad.
Ralph
His
stepped
dad
up.
is
Ralph
in
Sebastian,
said
please.
himself
in
that
prison.
he stepped
This
up.
is his
It was a
stepfather.
man to do it. Drew did not ask this. Drew didn't beg this man to marry him. Drew didn't hold a pow to his head and walk him to the altar and say, "You got to marry me and you got to take my son and you got to take full responsibility of him." That is not what happened. Just like Drew made a choice to get with this man, Ralph made a choice to get with this woman.
And he made a
chose
choice to take care of that child
on
while
the
he's
responsibilities
married
that
with
just
Drew.
came
But
with
the
her.
marriage is no longer existing.
Let
so
him finish,
therefore, he has no
Sebastian.
rights over
It
this
don't
child.
matter. I ain't even got
He has
nothing to
no
do with
rights
it.
over
we
this
gotta
child.
close this out.
Can't change ignorance.
You know what? We
Y'all
gotta
trying to
close.
make a man
Diva,
who has
go on, tell
jurisdiction.
Stop talking, Sebastian. Why you cutting people off?
We're shutting
Wait,
down.
calm down,
Drew.
We're shutting
Denzel.
down.
Calm down.
We're shutting down because the train has
This
crashed.
train is
I know, right,
backwards.
Diva.
Good night. Love y'all. Trending
Love you,
topics.
Diva. Love
Hit the
y'all.
like button. That's it. And you
And
know
that's
what?
all.
Hashtag love the kids.
Exactly.
And Sebastian, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Come on,
You're wrong.
Exactly.
Have a heart for the
You're just
baby.
wrong. It's just
Yes.
wrong.
He's not legally his. It's a fact.
Thank you, Felicia.
Exactly.
Diva says to you, if
Have a good night,
your
Diva.
mother had died, would he had then told JoJo, you got to go someplace else?
Yes, ma'am.
I never
Yes,
said yes
ma'am.
to that. That's different.
That's
That's not
what
the
you're
situation
saying.
here.
That's
Why
how
are we
it's
trying to bring
coming
something to the
across.
situation here? That is
That's
not
what
the
you're saying,
situation
though.
here.
Right.
That's what you're
That's not
saying.
the situation here, though. That's a different thing, though.
Okay.
Diva, go and close it
And
out.
it's